Hey YouTube, what's up? So I wanted to talk to you about some of the distractions that I've had making videos. And this is a different kind of video than I normally make, but I thought it'd be kind of fun just to share some of the things that has happened. Now, between the three YouTube channels that I have, I would say that I'm getting very close to 2,000 videos in total. And over the time of making the 1,900 or so videos, I've run into a lot of bizarre, but that's probably saying it pretty mildly, but very bizarre types of interruptions. I mean, and I'm just going to kind of go through the list, and this is in no order of like which ones are the most hideous. But of course you have sirens. Where I live in the rural area, it's not so common to hear sirens from fire trucks, but you do hear them. That's been something that's been somewhat bothersome at certain times of making videos. Neighbors are probably the biggest problem. I have a couple of neighbors on the street that are very loud. They like to scream and they like to have fights with each other. I guess with their husband or wife, they take turns. And so yeah, just domestic disputes. It can be very interruptive. Dogs. There's a lot of dogs on my street, and sometimes they'll get barking or howling at the same time, and it can be just incredibly ridiculous and very distracting. Now, my neighbor that used to have the horses down the street, he moved. But, last year, though, sometimes those horses would get pretty loud, believe it or not. And then also the neighbor next to him that used to have donkeys in the fields, he's replaced them with cattle. But those donkeys would get loud as well. And a lot of times I would just have to stop in the middle of my video and just start over. Helicopters and fighter jets. I mean, it's just like, it would be dead quiet too. Like it's dead silence. And I mean, the video's going perfect, right? And I mean, this just shows you how many times I've had to remake my videos. I would pretty much venture to guess that for every video that you see me post, I've probably had to remake that anywhere from 3 to 5 times minimal to get that result. No joke. I almost never am able to do a one-time shoot, like just try with one take and come out perfect. There's a couple of videos that I have been successful, just in the first time around. But so anyways, yeah, aircraft. Aircraft is just, and then there's a guy locally that likes to, I think he's an amateur pilot, and he has these really small aircraft. I think they're like 1- and 2-seater little planes. And he'll fly them really low, like just above the treetops, and he'll go over my house right in the middle of a video and just drown my audio out. And it's like, you punk. Sometimes the birds also can get just crazy, just insane, to the point that it drowns me out on the audio and I have to start over. What else? Oh yeah. So, in terms of, of neighbors, let's go back to them. Instead of just them being loud, and of course there are animals being loud, sometimes they just like to use their horns. Like they'll just sit there and they might have someone picking them up or whatever, or maybe they're trying to rush someone else in their family to get out of the house because they have to be somewhere. They'll just lay into their horn on their car with no regard to their neighbors. It's like, dude, hey, I live over here too. Why are you being that way? It's just ridiculous. There's also been times that the UPS man or the FedEx man or even the mail lady pulls up right in the middle of a video. Like, right, I mean, I'm really getting it going, right? And I got all the words lined up and I'm saying everything very clearly, and I'm not speaking too fast because sometimes I speak too fast. And everything is going just at the right rhythm. And then UPS truck pulls up and lays into his horn. And then he sees me at the last minute, but it's already too late. I already got that on film or video, or my mind is so distracted I can't even remember what I was saying. So I'm probably leaving out half of the other distractions, but that's just a taste of the crap that happens when you're trying to make videos. Oh, I have a couple more. See, the more I think about it, the more it kind of comes to me. Sometimes I just I think I suppress the memories, because sometimes I get so mad when it happens because the video is like so good. And then I would venture to say some of my best videos never came to light because they got so interrupted that I just couldn't complete them. But another one is that I get text or someone calls me right in the middle of the video if I'm using the phone as my camera. Now, a lot of times I've been trying to learn how to just remember to turn off the phone, put it in like airplane mode. I guess that's what you call it. You just basically turn off the service to your phone. And so that obviously kind of mitigates those problems. But sometimes, when I get like an email or a text or a phone call, it can just totally jack up my my recording. And then, of course, there's been a few times that I've had memory card issues. That's not too common, but it has happened that I just reached the end of my memory capability, or I have some kind of catastrophic failure of my memory card. That's not very fun at all. Also, I've actually done a couple of videos in the house where, for some reason, like the compressor, I guess is what it was, for the refrigerator kicked on. And because everything was so quiet in the house, that hum was enough that it just like totally distracted me and I couldn't get back on topic. That's happened before. And since I have a cistern and there's a well pump that kicks on when the pressure gets low enough, and so it just kind of keeps the system pressurized. And there's been a couple times that the room that I have my well pump in, I'll be walking by it while I'm doing the video and it kicks on, and it is very deafening. And so that'll totally destroy a whole video right there. Let me try to think of at least one more. Oh, animals that are on my property, and just like wildlife. Now, it's not so much like they're loud or nothing, but like the deer, sometimes I'll be, and this has actually happened quite a few times, really. Like I'll be in the backwoods on my property, and deer, like I've seen such a beautiful deer out here. There's just so many of them, but they'll cut right in front of me. Like I'm not so sure how they didn't see me or hear me talking on the phone or using the camera, but they have sometimes walked just like, I don't know, 15 to 20 yards in front of me with no regard to me. They just kind of walking very easy, and it's distracted me so much that I'll just stop, doing what I'm doing and just look at them. Another time, though, an owl. I may have told you this. This happened a while back, but there was this great horned owl. I'm talking about just beautiful, a very mature, fully grown, great horned owl. This thing was monstrous, just amazing. I actually never have seen one in the wild like this. I mean, it was in the back of my property. Maybe at least maybe a year and a half ago at least. And I was just taking a walk in the woods. I turned to the left, and guess what was looking at me at eye level? Just sitting on a branch at eye level was this owl. And this thing was just, once again, so beautiful. I mean, these massive, massive eyes. The eyes were just like glass, it looked like. And there was a noise behind it, and he took his head. He didn't move his body, and his head went completely backwards. And he looked at that squirrel, and then he slowly brought his attention back to me. And within just like about a minute later, out of nowhere, he just opened up his wings about halfway and pushed down and created enough thrust to shoot himself to the very top of that tree, which is probably a good 40 feet. And I kid you not, I don't think that he flapped his wings more than maybe once. I really don't think so, unless he did it so fast that I couldn't see it. But this thing had such power, and he just shot almost completely straight up vertically. I mean, just vertically just climbed like so fast. Like it was like breathtaking. I actually stepped back because I was in shock how fast that thing was. And I was like, holy moly. I think what he was doing, he was scanning the ground, looking for, I guess whatever, snakes or mice or whatever that he was, hunting. But maybe he was looking for chipmunks. I don't know. There's a bunch of them out here. But anyways, yeah, so there's just a bunch of distractions. And of course, I don't need to tell you about like lawnmowers. So many times I'd be like starting a video, and I'll get close to the end even, and then my neighbors, and it's typically not just one, it'd be like 2 or 3 at the same time, starts their engines up, and all of a sudden you hear a all around you, like a 3D sound. All around you is mowers, and you're like, oh my gosh, it'll just drown your audio out. And so I could probably go on and on if I kept on thinking about this, but yeah. So the whole idea that, you know, when people attempt to make a video, that, oh yeah, they're always going to be successful the first try, it is totally not true from my experience. Maybe there are some people that are just genius at making videos and they only need one try. But for me, I'd say 3 to 5 times, 3 to 5 tries minimal, but I have been known to take, you know, over 20 takes to get a video, just because I trip over my own words, or I'm speaking too fast, or I say something just totally off the wall, and I'm like, what? Oh yeah, I should probably add that to the list, that I distract my own self. But then, of course, outside of my own distractions I create, then all of the distractions around me. And so, yeah. I mean, it's really fun, though, to make a video for other people, because you do have to try. I mean, it's not like it's just, some people probably put less effort than others in it, but if you're trying, though, and it comes out good, there is this really weird kind of sense of satisfaction. Like, you kind of feel like, oh, that worked out really well. And I think it's like the art of communication and presentation or conveyance. That's something that you actually have to really work on. And people that are very good at public speaking, man, I really, you know, admire that. Like, I don't know, like, the more I do this, the more I realize that there's a whole discipline on just how you know, convey information to other people. That's about the easiest way I can say it. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you make videos and you know what I'm talking about, and if there's anything that I haven't covered that you want to share in terms of distractions that has happened to you while you made videos, feel free to share it in the comment section. Thanks for your support.